This podcast includes explicit language and sensitive topics that some may find offensive.
All views expressed belong to the individual speaking and not a representation of any entity that we have been, am now, or will be affiliated with. It's your chance to back out now.
That being said,
If not, enjoy the show.
Previously on the Black Man Misunderstood.
Because you know how the adage goes in the black community. People always say, "Oh, it's easy for people to grow up in the suburbs. It's hard for us in the hood."
Black man, misunderstood.
It's your boy Mike B.
In the neighborhood therapist.
Welcome to the Black Man Misunderstood. Here we discuss topics about the black man that others are afraid to speak on. I'm your host, Mike B, and I'm rocking with my brother as always.
The neighborhood therapist, man.
Yes, sir. And this is episode 23 of season 3. What's my purpose? Very deep question. I think it's a question that gets asked a lot.
Right.
So, as you know, when I do go in my bag sometimes, I got to pull out a definition. So, the definition of purpose. The reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. What do you get from that definition?
Shit, man, it's allegedly it's the reason why you tick, the reason why you're breathing. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are really gloomy about that. It's like, oh, why was I born? It's no different. You know, what is your purpose? What are you here for? What are you supposed to change? Or what are you not supposed to change? I don't know. Some people might just be here to be in the way. I don't know. But that's what I take from it. You know, what's your goal? Why are you here? Why are you breathing?
So basically, you're hitting it on the nose. I think I like to keep it more concise and just say, what is your why? What is your why? That's how I look about it when we talk about purpose.
Okay. Let's not even play with it, man.
Come on.
Mike B, do you know what your purpose is, and how do you know, if you do know?
So I do know what my purpose is. Surprisingly, it manifested itself earlier on in my life for me to realize it, or basically to start getting the understanding of it. How did I know? I guess it was a lot of circumstances lining up, and when I tried to redirect my path, it always brought me back to that instance. And this is every moment of my life, every step of my life. And it wasn't until like I had a hindsight moment, I'd be like, yo, this is my purpose, even though I do everything else. So, yes, I do know what my purpose is, and I will release that later on in the episode. I'm going to make y'all wait for this. How about you, sir?
I do. And I will also like to preface this with saying that everybody shouldn't know their purpose. I know that is going to go over a lot of people's heads. A lot of people are going to be like, just what the F? What are you talking about? I would love to live my purpose. Trust me, sometimes it's better that you don't know your purpose, because when you figure out your purpose and it's not exactly what you as a human want to do, things get a little spooky.
I like that. That's very true. That is very, very true.
I am now one of those people that wishes I didn't know what my purpose was, because now I'm held to a different standard of making sure that the purpose is served. So my purpose is to get the information, gather the information, distribute the information, and then when I'm called upon, lead my people to the information, show them how to live, thrive, be greater than, and then because I went about it a certain way that I wasn't supposed to, I'm going to be snatched, and I won't be able to. It's kind of like the Moses story. It's kind of exactly like the Moses story. And when I tell it to certain people, a lot of people get it. They be like, "Yo, like you really think like you gonna do all this work and then like you ain't gonna see the promise?" And I'm like, "Yo, it's already been confirmed for me." And that's why I said I kind of wish I didn't know what my purpose was. And it's kind of grim, it's kind of dark. I know people looking at the podcast like, "Yo, what?" Hey, it's my purpose.
Hey,
you ain't got it understand.
I like it.
You understand?
I like it though.
Right? I tell people all the time, and I fight people on that so hard. I'm passionate. I'm like, yo, listen, if you are a part of my cloth, which is what I consider the Moses cloth, please don't do the same thing that Moses did, which is he got tripped up. One time he got tripped up and he was tapped and was like, yo, you did phenomenal. But you remember that one time? Yeah, come on home. Come on home. But Father, the promised land is right there. I know it's right there. You not going there. You brought your people there. Come on home. It's one of those, man. So it's like, yo, be careful what you asking for, because you find out your purpose. It's like, all right, you got to live that. You got to do that. I always tell people it's like the domino effect. We each affect each other. So if I'm not living in my purpose, I'm holding somebody else up. Don't get that confused. Somebody will still get their blessings, but it's going to take them that much longer because I'm being selfish. You see, I'm going with that. So because now that I know my purpose, I strive to live that every day, and it's so uncomfortable, Mike. Because I know I'm doing this podcast. I know I'm supposed to be a therapist, but I really do not like humans. I don't like talking to people.
We know this. You repeated it more than once, bro.
Right. So I know what my purpose is, though. So I strive to I get past the nerves and I do it, man, because I don't feel like getting disciplined, honestly.
Nah, bro. I appreciate being candid, but you jump into a point that I'm gonna get into next: stagnation versus patient journey walking, right? Because when it comes to this purpose walk, people are stagnant, and like you said, you might be holding up someone else's blessing. It's gonna take them a while to get to their purpose. But let's flip it on to the individual themselves. They're missing out on their own blessing, and they won't get to what they need to get to quicker, right? So the patient journey walking, right? So we talked about stagnation, but the patient journey walking. So I would like to say that my purpose, when I do divulge it later, is a patient journey walking. It's like I had to level up here before I can help there, and then understand this part of it before I move into the next realm, and keep moving up. And now it's funny because now I'm in a different place now, but I can already see I am building myself to open up the floodgates again for the next level. So it's understanding: are you being stagnant in your purpose walking, or are you having a patient journey and learning the things you need to learn on the way?
How do you know the difference?
So to know the difference, I think it's more of a hindsight thing. I'm pretty sure it's more of a hindsight thing of knowing the difference. Like, because we all know, and it's funny, we all know something that we're supposed to do and something we're not supposed to do. And we get that tug on the shoulder, like you said, like, yo, you're supposed to be over here, right? You're supposed to be over here, right? That people ignore the tug. And it's funny, like, in different parts of life, people accept the tug and go to the right way, and then other people who keep fighting against it. That's why we have a lot of rebels out here, point blank period. Until you see them do a whole 360 or a 180, and you see a whole totally different side of them. Stagnation versus patient walk. Now, there's one thing I missed to say in the intro. Purpose, guys. When we talk about your purpose, don't get it confused with a lot of different things. All right? Don't get it confused with a lot of different things. Purpose is one thing, and it's in my opinion, your purpose in life is greater than what you think it is yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your purpose is like, yo, how I'm gonna do this? Like, what? How? How is this supposed to happen? Because like you know your purpose, right? You know it, but you even know that your purpose is greater because it's like you won't see the greatness of it because you'll be gone.
Thanks for reminding me. But understood.
But understood, right?
Understood.
So that's another part
Understood.
of the purpose that I just wanted to drop before we move any further. But stagnation versus patient walking. People, we all know the difference. It's either if we're listening to it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause I think that's important to dig deeper on. It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you've stumbled upon your purpose because you have one or two emotions. You become very, very fearful, or you become very, very ecstatic.
Yep.
I've never really heard people tell me like, "Yo, I know my purpose," and they either are not excited
Facts.
or they're like, "Yo, yeah, I know my purpose." And it's always like a fear behind it. I'm on that portion. I'm on where it was fearful. It was like, yeah, I figured it out. Like, yo, it's borderline scary because it's like what I'm being called to do shouldn't be humanly possible based off of I'm just speaking for me based off of my lifestyle, the way I've lived, the thoughts that I've thought, the things I've done. I'm not a perfect human. So when you figure out that you're called to do something like that in that capacity, especially knowing that you don't even really care about human life like that, that's kind of that's
Scary. Yeah.
God gotta exist at that point because it's like there's no way.
Like how
There's no
do
way.
you explain this? How do you explain
Right.
the unexplainable?
Right. It's so many people I bump into and they just ask a random question and I go off, say whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm being used to say at the moment. These people break down in full blown tears and they're just like, "How did you know to say that?" I'm like, "What are you talking? I'm answering what you asked me." Yo, you're being used. That's your purpose. How and people tell me all the time, I ain't no God. I'm like, yo, listen, man. I respect everybody's opinion, but I'm just like, yo, call it what you want. It's something out there, bro.
Too much evidence.
Right. But I digress. I want to ask a huge question, man. Have you ever felt like giving up?
So, giving up my purpose, right? Or figuring out the purpose. Because there's two things.
Both. Give me both.
There's two things,
Give me
right?
both.
So, giving up on figuring out purpose, I don't think you can entirely give up on purpose, right? Figuring out your purpose. Because, in my opinion, I think you're always constantly building to it. You don't even know that you're constantly building to it, right? And when it comes to giving up on a purpose itself, for you to give up on something that you've been waiting your whole life to acknowledge or do or constantly do, to give up on it, you're basically committing yourself to being, in my opinion, being a bum. Because giving up on your purpose is basically you're not doing anything else. That's it. Because I feel, this is my opinion, I feel everything that you do in life builds up to your purpose. You may not see it at the moment, but at some point or some part of it is going to help you along your way. So if you completely give up on your purpose, that means I'm going to be at the lowest of low. They can take my house. I don't need the money. I just need this one set of clothes and I'll be walking the streets for the rest of my life. You basically gave up on life. That's what I think if you give up on your purpose. But feel like giving up? Of course you're going to feel like giving up because, it's the pressures of dealing with the purpose and to living up to the standards if you know what your purpose is. But then there
Right.
are also other standards of how you're building yourself up for purpose that you may not realize that is going towards your purpose, but you're building yourself up at the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
So this question kind of alluded to it earlier. Confusing your purpose with your calling. Now, people are going to say, isn't your purpose and calling the same thing? My honest opinion, I think that's false.
What's the difference?
So the difference to me is when it comes to your purpose, this is what gives life, right? This is what gives you life. I look at calling because you can be called to do many things. You only have one purpose. So, like, look at me. I was called to be on a flag football team. Play flag football. I was called to play football. Not everybody is called to play football. I was called to minister, do dance. Not everybody is called to minister, do dance. I was called to always be a helpful hand. That's stuff that you called to do. I was called to be a project manager at work, right? But your purpose is something that gives you a greater experience, and it's really one. I don't think you could have more than one purpose and one true purpose. One true purpose, in my opinion. I think you can be called to do stuff, but your purpose is basically you embody your full life's work. And this is what you were put on this earth to do or to help or to create, my opinion.
No argument. I like that. I like it. Yeah, I like it. Let's jump straight through it. Straight through it, man. Going through the world for self versus going through the world for others. This correlates. Actually, this equals purpose. People, yeah, I need y'all to hear me out. Just hear me out. Mike is spot on. If it's your purpose, it's one. I ain't gonna. You know what? I'm not God, so I don't know. Okay, some people might have multiple purposes, right? This is what I will say. I know for a fact, though, that whatever your purpose is, it almost always has nothing to do with you. Hear me out. Hear me out, okay? I talked about the whole domino effect. As much as I don't really care about human beings, I care about human beings because I understand that we all affect one another by the things that we do. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I enter a room and I'm having a really, really bad day. If a little kid is sitting in a basket or a cart and waves at me randomly with their big old smile, guess what? That kid just made my day. That may not have been that kid's purpose, but his or her calling today was to wave at me and make my day better so that I can go out and go make somebody else's day better.
I like that.
So how in the world do you think that your purpose, you've been put here to do something to make the world better just for you? It don't even add up. It don't even add up. So I'm saying all that to say this. We keep preaching boundaries, you know, self-health, focus on yourself and things like that. And I still stand on all of that. But let's not get too caught up in the selfishness of things and understand that, like, yo, you can't go through the world on some selfish joint for the whole entirety while you're here. It's not gonna work. And it's not your purpose. It's not your purpose. Even the hermit, right? There's people that are still hermits, right?
Yeah.
That live off the grid. There's going to come a time where you're called upon to do something for somebody else. Somebody going to stumble across your swamp lake, fam. And I just need directions. You can't try to shoot my head off because I stumbled across your, desolate place of being. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a purpose.
Yep.
I strongly stand on that. And everybody's purpose has something to do with someone else. Even if it's just to praise and honor the Most High's name, that's still giving praise and honor to the Most High name for somebody else to take what you're doing and
Mm-hmm.
get motivated.
Yep.
And the other part of the purpose is you don't know who you're gonna affect.
Ooh, yes.
It could be like, yo, I've seen crazy things happen. Like, yo, where I'm saying something, right? And I don't have no type of liking or inklings of a liking to the individuals that I'm saying it out loud to. I'm not even saying it for that individual. But that individual will walk up to me later and be like, yo, man, I appreciate your words. Like, those are everything. I'm like, you talking to me? Because you the same person I told you cross the street when I'm in the building, bro. Like,
Mm.
it's hard. Like, can I just be candid with you, Mike,
Go
for a
ahead,
moment,
bro.
bro?
Go ahead, bro.
It is hard living the lifestyle that I personally live, which is that old school 1970s blackity black man, respect me or check me, but I ain't sponsored by Nike, so ain't no checking me. It's hard to live this life, like, right? Because there are many times where it's like there's people I want to press, and I know I could press you. It don't matter how tall, how big, how aki, it don't matter. I know me. I could press you. And I ain't gotta touch you.
Mm-hmm.
But God has, instructed or laid out that I touch you in a different way.
Hey,
Like, am I talking to somebody,
bro,
bro? I'm trying to talk, bro.
you
I'm
talking.
trying to talk to
You
somebody right
talking
now,
to
bro.
somebody, bro. You
It's
hitting the points, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's hard, bro. Because you know what your purpose is. You know what you're here to do now. You no longer a child. Like, yeah, you still a child of the Most High, but now you no longer a child. The child know better. So it's a different discipline that come with that. See, when a child goes and is playing with the socket, hopefully some of y'all that got the kids, you got the little socket stopper, right? If the parent says, yo, stop, yo, stop, yo, stop, yo, stop, and the kid now understands, oh, no, this is mommy, daddy said no, or whoever said no, right? And the kid goes back and plays with it. That's on the kid now, correct?
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
That discipline, right, is going to be different than the first time that parent said no. The first time the parent says no, hopefully they got some patience. They might move the kid's hand. Hey, no, don't do that. But if the kid is hard headed and is going back and playing with it, if you grew up in some of the households we grew up in, oh, you about to get popped.
Real quick.
It's a different level of discipline that come with that. So I'm saying this to everybody that's listening. If you know your purpose, wonderful. I'm happy for you. Don't go against the purpose though. Because the discipline that come with that is, man, it's like something you never experienced. You don't ask for the smoke. Now, for those of you that don't know your purpose, and after listening to this, maybe you don't want to know, you just want to kind of bump into it. Not mad at you.
Fact.
Not mad at you. But you can't run your whole life.
Yep. Don't get. Hey, you feel that tug. If you're feeling that tug, it may be time not to run away from it. Just saying.
You got the floor, Mike.
When do we know our true purpose? We've been saying it all episode, man. You learn over time. You know when you're getting the tug. You know when you learning different things from different avenues, from different callings that you've gone through in your life, right? So it's a pull. It's a pull, and then it's also it's selfless, not selfish, selfless. So before I let the neighborhood therapist go, I'm gonna release to you guys my purpose on this earth, and I've come to this realization probably after first couple of years after college. Then I didn't even think it was possible, but it makes complete sense. My purpose in life is to be a light to other individuals that look like me, who may have struggles like me and don't want to talk about it. That is my purpose. And I realized that after college, and it even became to more fruition as I grew older. And it's funny because think about it like this: all my life, from when we were kids, when we met, and even after now, people put me as a standard. I have standards for myself, but I don't want to put myself on this pedestal. I try not to. I try to be one of the most humble guys, one of the guys and chill. But people put me on this pedestal. It's people like, yo, Mike, when you get your company, hire me. Mike, give me the information and let me know how you doing this. Random folks hit me up as, yo, Mike, I see what you're doing about my current job. Just be like, yo, keep doing what you're doing. They see me as a light, and I don't even know how to explain this sometimes. It just happens that way. It's reasons why I get put into avenues where I'm at. My team grew. I was the constant male figure in the team group from a good old Patterson for years. Why? Why? Just to be a light. Because I never know who I touch by telling my story. So I'm a light in someone else's eyes. That's my purpose. I can be the greatest dancer alive if I wanted to be. I can be the greatest football player as I wanted to be. That's only a calling because that's only going to last ever so long. My purpose in life is to be a light so people can see that there are people like them that made it. That is my true purpose, and I know that's my true purpose.
Hard, my guy. When did you know, though?
I told you after college, bro. It was crazy. So,
but like the experience of it. Like, was there an experience that happened? Like,
it was a couple of things. So, first thing is, of course, graduating college. Boom, did that. Okay. I led for my brothers. So the standard is you got to graduate college. You either got to do better than me or not. It's a standard, all right? I'm not telling them this. This is just how people think. I got my DUI. I can't remember if I told this story before, but yes, I got a DUI out of college, and I thought I derailed my own life, right? But that was just the tug that I needed to put me back on the right track. You know, I deviated. I deviated a little bit, but that put me back on the track, and I realized what it was. I was an example to others, and I didn't even realize how much of an example I was. People were calling me all different type of nicknames, and I didn't even call myself this. Oh, he's the golden child. He can do no wrong. No. This is how I realized I had people watching me, and I didn't know people were watching. So I am a light, and I need to constantly be a light. And yes, that is pressure, because I think when I'm questioning things that I want to do or I'm trying to do, I'm like, is it the best thing to do? I do question myself sometimes about it, but I end up still making the decision which way, if it's good or bad. And it's still, either way, I'm an example because I can either realize it was a mistake and own up to it, which I do most times or not, or it's not a mistake. It just levels me up to the next level that I need to go.
Mine's, I'm trying to pinpoint it. I just remember vaguely walking up my driveway. Well, it wasn't my driveway. I was renting back then, but you get it. You get what I'm saying. Yeah. I was walking up the driveway after parking the car, and it just like a gust of wind, it hit you. It was like a flash for me. It was like flashes of like what's to be, what's to come. And flashes of me older too, like looking a certain way. I ain't gonna give too much details into that because, you know, I don't want to spook people out and things like that. But certain visions. So everybody got gifts. That's another part.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got gifts too.
Mm-hmm.
That adds to the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So my gifts was going haywire, right? In that moment. And I just could feel like I felt overwhelmed. Like tears and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, I had a good day. What's the problem, bro? Like, yo, you good? Like, I'm talking to myself at this point, and it's just like you see it,
Mm-hmm.
you feel it. And then I want to say like shortly after that, things in my life started going haywire. Because I'm hard headed and I was attempting to ignore it. I was like, nah, that was me tripping. I'm going through it. I mean, when I say things was going haywire, things were going haywire. Like, I ain't gonna speak on a lot of those things, but I was doing a lot of things I had no business doing. I was backtracking. Could have went to jail. Like, I'm talking about like, God, I'm a professional at this point, Mike. Like, and I'm still doing stupidness.
Yeah.
That could land me. You know, I'm considered what's a dinosaur. You know what I mean? A black man that's never been to jail. Like, real talk. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
we don't exist. No record, no nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm a saint, but you know, with God's will, I'm still here. I'm still able to, you know, give back to people and say what I need to say to people. But like, yo, I try to run my ass off from my purpose. Like, I'm not afraid to say it, but when that purpose is presented to you. Because like I said, it's either super exciting or it's like some of the scariest stuff that you could imagine or even can't imagine, bro, because I'm having a hard time even explaining it as I'm trying to say it to you. That's how you know I'm speaking to you on a different space. Like, it just hits. And when it hits, I'm asking for those of you that's scary, I'm scary when it comes to stuff like that, bro. I ain't want no smoke, man.
Yeah.
I'm usually for smoke. I ain't want no smoke of that. Let it happen. Because running ain't really gonna do nothing.
Nope.
I lied. Running is gonna do a lot of things. It's going to
hinder you,
extremely tear your life up. Just please don't do it. Don't do it. Steadfast, stand still. Don't be stagnant. Right? Mike spoke about that earlier. Sometimes you might have to be patient. That's crazy that's even coming out of my mouth because people that know me, I ain't patient. Nothing. I hate that. But I'm asking you to be patient when it comes, when it happens. It's your time. You deserve it. The people around you deserve it. The people's lives that you're going to affect, they deserve it. We appreciate you. Go ahead and lay down like a domino is supposed to so that you can knock over the next person. And really, you're not harming these people. It's teaching. You passing down what's necessary so that, you know, your kids, my kids, our grandkids, and things like that can have a better future. So don't run from your purpose. It's all smoke. It's all love.
Hey, and before we leave this episode, just to let you know, folks, our purpose is even manifested itself on this podcast right now, and y'all don't even know it. With that, see y'all next week.
Early.
What up, listeners? Mike B here. Hope you enjoyed the episode. You can find us on IG at BMM_podcast. On TikTok at BMM Podcast. Facebook, just type in the Black Man Misunderstood Podcast. And then you can find the Neighborhood Therapist at the Neighborhood Therapist on IG. And you can find myself at Mike B_BMM on IG. And if you want to connect with our producer, the DJ himself, Mr. DJ Daxter, check him out at DJ Daxter on IG. Alright, folks. See y'all next week.